the bloody hell's going on here? It's not blue, and it's not a Land Cruiser. I think one of the biggest changes for the Budget Adventure Show over the last 12 months, apart from COVID, has been the update of the vehicle. The FJ Land Cruiser's out, Nissan Patrol's in. So before we start doing the trips again for season 2, I'm going to take you a bit of a walk around, what I've done to it, what needs to be done, that sort of thing. I miss me Blue Girl, I miss the FJ, but yeah, there's some big trips planned coming up, and I'd need a little bit more room, a little bit more reliability. Shouldn't say that, the FJ wasn't reliable, but yeah, just need something a bit more common, and something that's going to handle the Outback a little bit better. So I'll take you for a walk around and I'll show you what I've done. Rightio, so the bare bones 2015 DX Ute, so it's got the coil, the leaf rear, not the coil. It's had a GVM upgrade to 3900 kilos as well, so helps out with the canopy on the back and loading up for those trips away. A bit better than the, I think the FJ was only 2600 or 2700 with yourself and everything in it. You'd only really put 200 kilos in the back of it, and that's not even including ball weight or anything like that. So bit better the toe width, a bit more of a solid base for a 4B. Although that FJ, it went some places, and I wouldn't even try and go the same place in this, just it being coil around for one, had a lot more articulation. They're running the 3 litre common rail diesel, which is probably the least fuel efficient 3 litre diesel on the market at the moment. Sort of averaging around the 15 litres to 100 if I'm lucky. So I want to change tyres. I don't know if I'll be able to do that without affecting that fuel usage much, but yeah, we'll see how we go. But it didn't look like this when I got it. She had a different setup on the back, had a set of toolboxes, and I ended up putting a roof rack and a rooftop tent on top of it too, and went through our first lockdown with just that, and it done the job quite well. But I wanted to get rid of the big heavy steel toolboxes off the back and get more of a canopy set up. I was going to go for a 3/4 canopy, but ended up going full length canopy just because one come up on the market for, like, I paid $1,600 for it. So we'll get to the canopy in a minute. I'll show you some more of the Patrol. Just going to do a run around, much like I do with the FJ. First up, tyres come with these set of Bridgestone mud terrain tyres on it, which are a real skinny profile. I think they're only 235, so I definitely want to get something a bit bigger, a bit wider eventually for our future trips. But since they've got 80% tread still on them, I want to try and use them up a bit before I change them out. They got some real heavy steel rims on them. So much fader, it's been a pain in the ass to sort of get them balanced and everything else. And it probably hasn't helped me front end issue either, because after 6 months of owning it, this happened. After spending thousands really on the front end trying to work out what it's doing that for, wheel bearings, ball joint, swivel hub bearings, steering damper had gone at the same time as well, so a new one of them on it. Took it in the local tyre centre. They done 28-point safety check or whatever their point safety check is all on it. Couldn't find anything wrong with it. Repacked all the bearings, still shook like a mother. And it's only recently I've taken the bottom shims out of the swivel hub bearings, but it's still doing it. So I don't know, I'm a complete loss at the moment. I've got a big trip coming up for the start of the season, and I'm hoping it holds together for it, because there's nothing worse than going away on a big trip when you know your car's not 100%. But I reckon these steel rims aren't the best, and probably half the culprit, because I know the back ones are out of centre. When you drive down the road, when you first drive it, you're sitting there hopping in the back. You can feel it at low Ks. Even when they balanced them up on the balancer machine, you could see the tyre was out of centre. So I don't know. They're not I don't think they're a light truck. Oh yeah, LT, so they are a light truck grade, but again, she's GVM'd for 3,900 kilos. It's about 33, 3400 as it sits here, so a lot of weight for a four-wheel drive, and a lot of weight for skinny little cheese cutters like this. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the main culprits. But I've tried other tyres and it still did it, so I'm just going to get some bigger, fatter tyres anyway, and try and get some alloy rims on it just to lighten up a bit of the weight. But that's it for the tyres. We'll have a look at something else. It used to belong to Essential Energy. They used it to serve some power lines and all that sort of stuff. So the tray they put on it was pretty good, pretty heavy duty. Toolboxes either side at the front, good storage. We've got a drag chain in there, gloves, stuff for getting fuel, whatever else. Like there a 15-litre water tank on the far side, the back corner. Full size under drawer or under tray storage. It's not a drawer, but I just made it slide out. But it's got all my recovery gear in it: winch stuff, snatch straps, snatch block, a set of jumper leads, some shackles, and a pair of jumper leads too, just in case. Then the other side, I got just two of the eBay cheap max tracks there that I had on the cruiser, the blue ones. Two of them in there, and my shovel. And that sort of takes up that space nicely. If you get the bloody drawer all the way back in, like that. But yeah, good solid heavy tray. It's got the aluminium deck in it, and then steel all the way around. So it did have a tailgate in the back, but for some photos of what it looked like, I'll put them up now and you can have a look at how it was when I got it, and just the difference having the canopy on the back makes. Because the tray is a little bit wider than what the cabin is, getting a new set of mirrors for it were essential. These are not clear views, eBay specials, fully telescopic out in. They've got a power mirror function as well, but the ST-DX doesn't have the power mirror option, so the wires are just tucked in behind there. But I think about $300 for a set of these. Fold in, do all the same thing as your clear view ones do, but when you clip a tree or something with the passenger side and break it or something like that, it's $300 to replace them, not over $1,000. So definitely good for seeing down past the canopy and the toolboxes when I had it, because it was a nightmare. You couldn't see down the left side and it was a pain in the ass to back up. But new additions for this trip, or the first trip away, or for season 2 anyway. King's Ensuite awning. It's great that they're finally releasing these now. Kick ass wanting $200, $300 for one, where King's, I think they're $149 at the moment on clearance, on special. So Ensuite awning, I'll show you. Got the shower set up in the canopy there for later. Arb Roof Rack. It was something on Marketplace. I paid $150 for it. I wasn't too fussed on what sort of roof rack. Being steel, it is a bit heavy. It's only sort of being used for that place to put the spare tyre at the moment, because I don't really want it in the canopy, and because of the back door on the canopy, I can't hang it on the back at this stage. So going away, I need to carry a spare tyre with me, so putting it up on the roof rack is probably the easiest and best place to do it. And hopefully with just that tyre and the way of the rack itself, it doesn't put too much weight on the rain guards here on the side of the cabin. I've been told for patrols anywhere up to 200 kilos safe, but then sometimes that gets blurred with wagons as well. So being a single cabin, not a wagon, you've only got the 4 feet on the ground here or on the rails instead of 8 that you would on a wagon. So yeah, we'll see what happens. A little bit more modifying here I've got to do. I'll probably end up getting some rhino racks to go across to just get a bit lower and further back a bit, and get the mounts sitting in the gutter properly, because yeah, this is only last minute add-on to facilitate the tyre up there ahead of me first trip for episode 1. But also eBay specials, just the weather guards here, which have been a massive help. In the early days, driving around in the rain, that had pillows behind the driver's seat and water would go straight in there and wet everything. So having those wind deflectors, smoke guards, whatever you want to call them, on the windows, paid bugger all. They just stick straight on, and definitely a plus. Something I'm glad I put on it. And lastly, while we're doing the exterior, on the roof, got a 250 watt solid solar panel up there. It was laying long ways, but I changed it around to be sideways just because I wanted the option to put the spare tyre up on the back in case something happens to the roof rack while I'm driving. I haven't got it mounted properly. I should have it mounted properly, but I don't. And the first few episodes of season 2, I'm heading out into the outback, so if something happens and it comes off, it'll either get thrown in the bush, or maybe I'll have room in the back for it, but I need to be able to bolt the spare tyre to the top of the canopy on the back. So that's what it's there. So I turned the solar panel around sideways, so there's space at the back for the tyre to go up there eventually. I have a height restriction with my carport at home. The tyre only just sneaks under it, so that's my maximum height. So one day I'd love to get one of them clamshell rooftop tents or something to put on top. If I found a nice slimline one, it'd probably fit up there. But again, I'm sort of at the max height that I need to be. So that's why I eventually went for a full-size canopy, and that's why I went to what I've done inside that. But there's still a couple more things I want to show you before we go into canopy. Under the bonnet's nothing special, apart from being extremely cluttered with pipes and hoses. All the joys of a new four-wheel drive. It's got a second battery which it had in it from Essential Energy. That battery's buggered. It's pretty much just powering USB sockets and that inside, which I'll show you in a minute. And of course it then feeds the other battery and the DC-DC charger in the canopy. 50 amp circuit breaker on the firewall there that sends power back to the inverter and the canopy, plus some fuses for the other stuff, lights and revolving lights and stuff that was on the canopy or on the toolboxes I've since cut off. So some of them are now dead circuits, but I've left the lines in place just in case I want to put, or in case when I want to put exterior lights on it, because I do want to do that. And with everything ran, the lights are at home in the shed, so it's just find time to do anything. So yeah, again, as I said, 3 litre common rail diesel. She's thirsty, feel thirsty in most new four-wheel drives anyway. But apart from that, she's pretty stocky under bonnet. Do have a aftermarket secondary fuel filter in line too here, which again, Essential Energy pad on it, so just a bit of peace of mind for when I do start heading out into the outback or remote areas if you have any issues with fuel. Got the second fuel filter there, it's got an alarm on it. I think there's a wire going to the bottom anyway, so I should get the light inside light up if there's any water or contaminants in my fuel. But yeah, I think that's it for the engine bay. Nothing real special going on here. Not yet anyway. So we'll continue on. Right, yeah, inside, again, pretty much stock. I haven't done a lot inside yet. Sort of been trying to get this front wheel, or the front end issue, sort of worked out, because if I can't, I'll probably end up just flipping it and getting something different, because I can't have it sit in the shed not doing anything with this issue. But some of the things that have been done, again, Essential Energy had the red arc electric brakes for trailer put on it. They did have sort of inside, what would you call it? Phone booster. Aerial's still out there on the bull bar, but they cut the business part of it off behind the dashboard. Didn't leave it in here, but done a little bit of extra stuff, a couple extra cigarette lighters and USB charging ports just for all the electricity charging cameras and what for phones and everything else. Canvas seat covers, black duck seat covers were in it when I got it, so they had a good clean out. Put back in. All your center consoles the same. TX 4400 UHF, one of my favourite of the GME ones, just because you can pick up New South Wales police frequencies and that on it to listen in, even though I've got the scanner as well. So that's pretty much for inside. I would love to take that seat out. I've ran an Anderson plug in here, which comes direct off the battery through a fuel fuse, so I could put a fridge in here if need be. I wouldn't mind being able to unbolt that seat and have a fridge there, plus some shelves, somewhere for me drone to bolt onto when you're driving. So all I have to do is undo a couple of hockey straps or something and be able to take it out. Nice and quick, no need to set up stuff. One thing I was going to do in the Cruiser too is down on the floor, have all your tool rolls and socket sets and all that sort of stuff down there, and then just put a bit of false timber over the top with some carpet on it, just to so you can still sit in here, missus or kids, whatever, can sit in the passenger seat, still use as a passenger seat, but all your tools and stuff you need, screwdrivers and that sort of stuff's down there, hidden underneath the bit of timber. And yeah, it adds that little bit of weight to the passenger side that you would if you had a passenger in there anyway. So that's about it for inside. Wouldn't mind getting a center console. Again, they're sort of $400-500 for the ones off eBay, so that'll take some time. Yeah, apart from some switches here that do canopy lights, that's about it. So we'll open the canopy up and have a look at what I've done in there. Driver's side of the canopies, so your sleeping side and storage, and shower, and so we'll get that open and have a look. Watch out, don't get clocked in the head with that. Oh, I love gas struts. It makes things so much easier. Sleeping area, sleeping side of it, as I said, haven't got the room on the top for a rooftop tent, so I wanted to try and, if I'm going to have a full-size canopy, I'm sleeping in it. If I didn't want to sleep in it, then I wouldn't have got a full-size canopy. I did want to have sort of your 1200, 1400 canopy, enough to have your kitchen one side, shower and sort of stuff on the other side, but then have the back open. Whether to have rooftop tent sort of sunk down below the back of the canopy, streamlined or whatever, but that other plans didn't turn out. So while we're in here, shower, bit of a thrown together system at the moment just for the trip up ahead, but 30 litres, that's just a $25 container from Bunnings. I've put bleed valves and that sort of stuff in it for when you're filling it up. It probably doesn't need it, more so if you went the hot water in the fire route in a bucket and wanted to put your submersible pump in that. Any water you don't use, you'd be able to just undo the top and put it back in, or if you wanted to fill, you undo the top and put the hose in there. So I've probably gone a little bit extravagant with the hot water setup at the moment. That'll probably change. I did get one of them 60 litre or 59 litre caravan tank I was going to put up on the roof beside the spare tyre up there, and just have the pump and everything between the cab and the tray, but it's another 60 kilos on top of the roof for one, and two, we went away last weekend, and yes, I did use most of the water because that's an 11 litre per minute. Yeah, 11.3 litres per minute, so 30 litres, 3 minutes, and it's empty. Which means you got to be careful showering. Of course, you haven't got the flow all the way up because I've just got the your gas heater, which I'll show you in an equipment check eventually. But yeah, water there. fill it. I've got about 3 meters or 2 meters of hose there. I can just, when I'm getting fuel's on this side, plug it into the servo. I did have oh, there it is. Got a tool for the servo taps as well, so I can borrow some some water from them. Up the front, 200 amp hour deep cycle battery, big and heavy, but I've when I first got the canopy and was doing work on it, I had the canopy off the ute down the block, and it sat there for 3 or 4 weeks with just a solar on the top and running the Dometic 35 litre fridge. Never even nudged it. So that's up there. Just got a USB Bluetooth, one of them little $19 ones from eBay. Battery monitor on there, which shows me what the voltage is, your percent, and more importantly, the your usage. It shows during the day if there's solar going in, what you see when your fridge is starting up, so you know how many or how much it's cycling, which is good for that little $19 thing. I had for this the C-Tech. I think it's the $69 one from Kings and that, the little Bluetooth sensor on that, and it'd take 4 or 5 minutes to pick the signal up and show you what your battery was doing, and even then it wouldn't show. Your usage would be across a 3 or 4 hour period. There wasn't that half-hour increments like the cheapo ones got. So cheapo, a lot better than what the C-Tech one is, because it's not the best. Just got my chair storage at the back at the moment. Got another Anderson plug here, and another SIG socket and USB there, just because I'm going to have my head up the back, just the way the ute falls forward. So if I want to plug my 12-inch fan in, phone, second fridge, what have you, it's sort of got the power at the back of the canopy there to do it. So I haven't got any lights on this side. One thing I found, the more lights you use when you're camping, the more bugs you attract. So I've got my little rechargeable lanterns and that there, and the head torch. And apart from that, if I don't need lights on inside the canopy, it's not going to attract the bugs for it. But I suppose lastly, the bed. Got the single mattress that folds down without the all that shit under as well. But high density foam mattress. You're going to get me sleeping at night. If I don't have this, if it is somewhere a bit warmer or whatever else, or I can throw my swag and stretcher in the back and just roll it out on the ground next to the vehicle as well. Sort of, especially as we're going to start heading into winter soon, being able to sleep in the back, wake up in the morning, cook your brekkie, pull your chain down, close it up and keep on driving. You're not rolling up wet swags, rolling up wet awnings. It's all contained inside the ute. So I've got brackets on the back for an awning that I'm going to use over summer, but during the winter months I won't be using that, because the sun goes down by the time you stop at the end of the day anyway, or you're not finding shade during winter. You're finding sunlight to camp out in front of. You're not. It's not like summer where you're chasing shade. So that just folds up there at the moment. I do want to, with the mattress, you can get, kids have the little mattress chairs. They're sort of solid foam all the way around the front and back, and then the front middle bit folds down into the bed. I wouldn't mind making a timber frame up at the back and have your 3-tier mattress in there as a seat, and then be able to pull it down and have it lay out as your mattress as well. Just being able to store shit, whether it's generators, the pig, wood for the pig, all that sort of stuff, stacking in here. Whenever you stop somewhere for the night, you've got to pull that out and lay the mattress down. Now, yes, fair enough, if it's all up there, you do too, but at least that way you've got a bit of a chair. If it is a bit cold at night, you can go in. I've got a diesel heater I'm going to be putting in this as well. So at the moment, I've still got my portable one, which will just be on the ground, a bit of pipe coming in through here, and it'll keep me warm during winter on those cold mornings. But sit in there, have a beer, watch a movie on the iPad or something while after the sun goes down before you go to bed. And when you're ready, you can just kick the mattress down, climb in your sleeping bag and go. So that's future plans, but we'll see how we go in the meantime. But that's it for the driver's side. We'll go around to the kitchen and the cooking centre, the brain centre of the whole canopy, and show you what I've done there. Right out the front here, made this bench and all your prep area. The drawers here are the only thing to carry over from the cruiser. That and the bag with me stuff in it for 2 people, which I've showed you in season 1. But they're screwed down onto there. Nice poly laminate, whatever they call it, bench top little thing there, and the whole thing slides out. Then behind there, all your sort of superfluous stuff. We've got frying pan, jaff line, butane cans, your collapsible sink, camp oven lifter, toaster, yeah, some sort of your water crackers for dips and that sort of stuff as well. So heap of stuff I was able to get under that. I did want to come up 100, but I only come up eventually 75, and that was enough for the collapsible sink and everything to hide away underneath there. So that's one thing I really wanted to do, and it's turned out fantastic. I can do all my prep on here. It's it'll be good for hot surfaces. I've got some cutting boards. I got some of the cork trivets and that as well, so I can put hot stuff on there without it being any sort of an issue. Up the front, power, main power, solar in, mean mother, DC charger. It's a 20 amp. Had the projector one in the cruiser, and like as I mentioned in that that spotlight, heard stories of them catching on fire from getting too hot. So the mean mother, 180, 190 to purchase it, which is nearly half the price of any other DC charger with solar input on the market. So that's been going good for six months. We'll see how we go. Because the second battery in the front's stuffed, the alternate has to charge it back up and get it up to charge before it'll start sending power through. So sometimes you might go down the road for 5 minutes or 5Ks and it's not enough to start putting power into the 200 amp hour battery, just because it's still worrying about the spare. So I'll have to get that changed. Unfortunately, where the second battery's going, patrols right next to the turbo there. They're no good for AGM batteries. It just absolutely cooks them. So I'll probably end up just getting another car battery and putting it in there just so I can deal with the heat. And again, it's only running SIG sockets and that in the canopy and that sort of thing. It's not power in the back. There's just power coming from it back when the red arc dual battery system's running between the two. So 1500 watt inverter. This was in one of the toolboxes on the ute when I had it. Decent cables on it too. They probably were running 9-inch grinders and that sort of thing off it for Essential Energy doing all their lines work and that. So made sure I kept that. It works fine. Breakers on it. Nice, good, heavy duty industrial inverter, but heavy too. So you get that. Then power goes across to the battery from the solar, and that comes back up. Battery isolator. Just, I've always put an isolator on my stuff so I can shut the canopy down. The only thing that has constant power at any given time is the fridge through one Anderson plug at the back corner. Just, again, that's what I've normally done. And then I can turn that off as well. It's got a 60 amp breaker there. I can just hit the button and it'll cut power to that one Anderson plug and shut the fridge down. But we won't be doing that now. Power through the fuses, into the switches. General power, which just sends power to these Anderson plugs, these SIG sockets, the Anderson plug and the SIG socket at the back corner that I showed you earlier. Light in there. It's also fed off a switch in the front of the ute as well, so if you pull over on the side of the road somewhere, I can flick that switch, get out, and that inside light will be on, so you're not lifting it up and finding your way around, turning stuff on as well. So power and light, and then water pump as well. One more spare one. I don't know what I'll do with that. It's just yeah, I don't know at this stage, because I'd probably put all the lights on the one switch. So one day I'll find something I need, Dad. I don't know what that is yet, but we'll do it. We'll find out one day. Couple of little storage racks. Just got some Velcro on the bottom of that, and that just sits on top of the inverter. Head torch. Got a little cut down ice cube tray for Oh, that had water in it too. Whoops. Ice cube tray for the freezer. Some power cables. That sort of stuff. All that little stuff you want in one place without it getting lost throughout the canopy. Little bit of storage area here. I've got to clean up. Stubby holders, gas canisters, and a couple of tins of fly spray. You've seen this from the cruiser. Again, pepper and salt, coffee, sugar, all your utensils for 2 people. I've got it set up for 2 people again. All that's the same as the cruiser. Down the bottom, stuff like some spice, some chili, mozzie coils, comb, toothpaste, some bandages and sort of snake dressings and that sort of thing, just in case. Some more napkins and a washer sponge down between there. Got the my single burner stove out of the bus in here at the moment, just because it's a backup for what I've done at the back. And these things are a godsend. Food trays. Big W got them for I think the 20 bucks for a pair. You can get these ones here from the reject shop, and you can also get ones from Kmart that are a bit more heavy duty. Laptop stands, tables for your lap, but just being able to eat on that and not having to have a kitchen table or anything with you is just fantastic. In the morning, eating bacon and eggs, especially since I mostly use paper or plastic plates that as soon as you put them between your legs they fold in half and you lose everything, but having that's just fantastic. So, a bit of water there. A bit of an open space here for just some stuff, just some junk, cigarette lighter, some foil, but yeah, we'll keep heading towards the back. So again, in front of the fridge, you've got a little bit of a prep space as well, but the fridge itself had the chest freezer in the back of the cruiser. Oh, the chest freezer. With the footprint I want the fridge to take up, you got the other issue of having a fridge and trying to be able to reach into it without having your drop slides and all that sort of stuff. I thought about going a vertical or a stand-up fridge for once, and this is one off eBay from a company named Glacier. Type in 12-volt fridge on eBay, and this is probably the first one that'll come up. Either this or their chest freezers and fridge freezers. But got a key on the front to unlock. There's a little pin that drops down underneath to lock it closed so it doesn't come open while you're driving it, because one thing I found with these fridges, your stuff goes everywhere when you're driving. It's not, oh, didn't quite get it all the way. It's not something you just throw a 6-pack in and go down the river for a fish, not without stacking some stuff around there as well. So this is a 95 litre. I think it's 86 centimetres high by about 46 centimetres square at the base, so it only just passes here. The only way I can get it in is go on an angle, and the roof's got some ribs in it. If it didn't, I wouldn't be able to get the corner of the fridge up, and it'd be too big for the canopy. Because it's sitting in low, it doesn't clear the lip on the inside of the canopy, so it's got to be set back the way it is, and it just comes open and just misses the edge of the canopy there now. As you can see, bottles of water and shit have gone everywhere. But that freezer's on -2 there at the moment. Crisp it down the bottom. Change your rack around. Again, not like the Bushman ones where they've got the lip on the front to stop stuff falling out. I don't know whether I'm just going to put some Velcro or get some dowel or something and put across the front and Velcro in place. It's a work in progress. Not a big fan of the little space in the door. You can put sort of water bottles. You can't put 1.25 drink bottles or anything like that, where you've got the height for a bottle that big. You haven't got the base or the size in the bottom to be able to put it in there. But you've only got the one temperature dial there, your thermostat. You either go right down to 0 for it pretty much being off, or go all the way up to 8 where your freezer will drop down to -20 and it'll probably get a bit colder inside. So far I've had it sitting about 2, between 2 and 3, and that sort of keeps the freezer at -5, -6, and inside at about 2.5, 3 degrees. So it's weird, just that couple of minutes we've been here talking already, that freezer's already dropped down to 2 degrees. Just how much cold air comes out when that door gets opened. It was quite alarming. So because of that, it runs a bit more. It is only a fridge. Well, you can see how thin the walls are. It's not like your thicker chest freezers, fridge freezers and that, so it's not as insulated. pulls about 4 amps, 3.5, 4 amps on cycle, and it cycles every 20-30 minutes, so it does run a lot. Now it's started to cool down at night time. It'll start up at midnight, 1 o'clock, and it won't start up again until 4 o'clock in the morning. So at night when it's cold, it won't run. But I've noticed when it's a bit warmer during the day, it'll cycle every half hour. So if you're driving on the road, got the car through the DC charger, putting power in the battery, it's fine. Your battery stays 100%, because the fridge is getting the full 12, 13 volts. It runs real well and keeps everything frozen. It's only when you sort of go for a couple of nights in one location that you might have issues. Easter, spent 3 or 4 nights down the river, and by the second night it was starting to bring the battery down, and the solar wasn't keeping up, so I ended up plugging the generator in and putting the battery charger on there and just letting it run for a couple of hours to boost up power. But yeah, still not 100%. I think the main reason, or the other main reason for Operate 2, or why I went for this one, is you got the individual freezer section there, so I can get meat out of the freezer at home, put it in the freezer to go camping when you know what you want to have for tea, defrost it, cook it. You're not defrosting a heap of meat out of your freezer and then having to freeze it again, or taking a heap of fresh stuff with you as well. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not 100% sold on the Upright again, just because shit goes everywhere. We'll see how we go. I might end up getting another little 35 Dometic or something loaded. You can reach in and grab stuff out. I'm moving to a lot more of non-refrigerated foods and that on the road, so milk, water, and some alcohol in there, and that's pretty much all I'd need in the fridge anyway. So yeah, that's the Glacier fridge, or Glacio. It is Glacio. Rightio. Lastly, at the back, all your food storage, pantry, that sort of stuff. Clear King's bag, chips, biscuits, 2-minute noodles, all that sort of stuff in there. Of course, the red bag that you've seen before is the other mainstay of the cruiser. Then I built this little wooden frame up, bolted it in here, screwed it down to the timber floor in the back. Got me a little jet boil stove that I just picked up for Easter, so that'll be a bit easier just to boil water and that sort of thing in that without having to hook up gas bottles and everything else. But a set of pegs, I don't know what they're doing there, but down the back here just got your detergent and tin of food there as well. But made this little setup. So yeah, just got a couple of drawer slides. Made a little timber box up for the stove to sit in. It's screwed down, so I can't go anywhere. I need to get a new gas line because this one's not really malleable. That comes out. I've got the gas bottle mounted in there, plus a lot of my little gas cartridges and that for my gas stove, and butane and that sort of stuff as well. But that just that just gets set up there like that. Stove ready to go. Cook your snags on the side of the road, whatever else, and yeah, then just go handheld a little bit. Again, more storage, pantry stuff, cooking oil, shapes, more 2-minute noodles, some bars, wheat bix, milk, juice, noodles, a sieve for the noodles. Got a I don't know what size pot that is, but decent sized pot there for cooking pasta and everything in as well, and some biscuits. All your paper towel, that sort of stuff, cooking oil, spare garbage bag. As you can see there's the gas bottle hidden away in there. So nice and easy, everything's in the one place. I'm not pulling stuff in and out of the canopy to set up at the end of the night or in the morning to cook breakfast. So nice, quick and easy. And then I do have a table sitting at the back there if I do want to set up a table at night, throw the laptop on, or have a meal outside. So that's it for my new Pride, my new Steed. Hopefully all goes well. I could probably sort of hint what's coming up now for season 2. Finally, after the third attempt, I think it's going to be, we're going to Cameron Corner, up into bottom corner of Queensland, top corner of New South Wales, and the side of South Australia. So been planning that trip for over a year, and hopefully now I get to do it. A couple of little trips in the meantime as well, and the big one, Cape York. It got put off because of COVID, unfortunately, but September's coming. Got a few months to go, but yeah, we're going to head to Cape York, do Crab Track up to Cooktown, Frenchman's Track, Old Telegraph Track up to the top, back down the Weeper, and then we're going to come down the Peninsula Development Road to Laura and do the old coach road. So that's going to be massive at the end of the year. But in the meantime, I've got some more road testing to do. Cameron's Corner is the first trip up, and yeah, it'll be over 4 or 5 days. Get to field test a lot of this stuff, work out what I need, see what gets left behind, everything else, and what needs to be changed. But cannot wait, excited. Finally, back on the road, back out camping, back out exploring again. So hope you'll enjoy me for season 2. I've been Brad, and yeah, I'll see you on the road.